Hello everyone, welcome to the PIPCAST 3000. I'm Caedo Genesis, this is my co-host Bad Company Sarge.
Hello.
And you're listening to a bi-weekly podcast every other Sunday 10 a.m. Pacific where Sarge and I like to talk about gaming news and also have a Bethesda kind of related sort of RPG something kind of gaming topic. And this episode's topic is actually going to be the Gamer article because I'm trying to make Sarge's week better and we're going over 10 Fallout characters we wish we could romance according to TheGamer, and we're going to make fun of them and also probably pick our own or something along those lines. I don't know. We'll see. Because we usually go in blind because that's part of the fun. And we of course have some news stuff to go over. Man, there was something else I was gonna
Wasteland Legends.
Wasteland Legends, Sven and Rose, thank you so much for your support. We got a comment of the cast. We grab a comment from either the Spotify or YouTube side or both, if there are both, and then we bring it up in the episode after it came out, or after the comment was posted. I'm making it more confusing by explaining it. If there was a comment last episode, we might bring it up in this episode, and on repeat forever and ever.
Yeah.
Every episode. Yay. But we got a comment, and Sarge, would you read the comment?
Yes, this is from Anna HD, who time codes 1754 and says, "I'd like to clear up, my aim is if you do return to streaming, it's ready, and if you don't, it will be a nice space for you to work in." This is in reference to me saying, "Oh, Anna's been messing around with my computer background." And then Anna commented, that's my sister, by the way, who's leaving the comment. Yeah, the background's been prettied up a little bit.
I think it looks cool because I got to see it.
Yeah, Anna sent you a photo, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
Behind the scenes exclusives for Caedo.
I get special treatment. Because I'm Sarge's friend. Ha ha ha. In everybody's face. Like and subscribe. So I'm gonna be a sassafras today too, a little bit.
That's fine.
But thank you for the comment, Anna. You don't comment very much, so I figured we would add that one for this episode. Okay, and now we can move on to the newsy stuff. Okay, first two are probably going to be not great.
Yep.
They're hang in there, everybody. Put your seatbelt on. We're gonna go into sad town for a little bit. But then the other two news stories are a little more positive, or consumer fun. I don't know. So this first one is Julian LeFay, the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall chief engineer, someone who is largely responsible for a lot of the origins and the foundation of the Elder Scrolls series, passed away over the last week.
Yeah.
Last couple of weeks. Looks like July 23rd is when the article came out. So, just wanted to bring that up real quick. There's a nice article from Game Developer about him, and nice to get a little bit more details about what he was doing up until the point to where he did pass away. He had been working on The Wayward Realms, which was a to be it's already been announced, but to be released project, and that's still, I believe, still on the way. So it'll be kind of like his final legacy, because he did go on to do join or start another studio and then started making The Wayward Realms. So I'm still looking forward to that whenever that happens. But just important context, or I don't know how else to say words right now for somebody dying and then their final project being on the way kind of thing. So rest in peace, and looking forward to the final message in game form. Keep your seatbelt on. Another not so great thing from via the video gamer. there was a recent another round of layoffs in Zenimax, which is not great because that is the Elder Scrolls Online studio, and it's not great. It's not great when that keeps happening for studios that are under Microsoft, especially if Microsoft is seemingly just hemorrhaging money and betting on things that they shouldn't, and dropping even successful projects. This is possibly another one of those examples of that thing, because a lot of the people that have been laid off in Zenimax, the people that remain have to both pick up the slack, and it was, I think it's either in this article or somebody else I was watching's take on it, but these people are watching their coworkers and friends get laid off, and they are left demoralized and picking up the slack in the studio. So it's like an all-time low kind of thing, kind of feeling. At least that's the vibe that is being portrayed here.
Yeah, it mentions that they were like blindsided by these decisions and stuff, and people are just immediately, nope, you're gone, sort of deal. Which is not good.
Yeah,
it's
bad.
It's a case of not only are you losing all the people working on these projects, which is an obvious loss of just like how well things are going to go in general, but then everyone who's left is incredibly stressed out because they don't know how secure their job safety is anymore. And believe it or not, people do not work at their best when they're stressed out of their brains. That's really not a productive mood to have. Yeah.
And also, if you're getting rid of people that have been in the game for a long time, nope, that pun not intended, like, that may deter them from wanting to work, in a first-party development position anyway. So it is very self-defeating, it feels like, in the short term and even long term for Microsoft to like keep doing this kind of thing. Because there's a lot of, I mean, we've got plenty of examples now of developers moving on and doing their own thing, and the kind of success that they get is kind of all over the place, but at least they're safe in their own budget, or their own budget and decisions, as opposed to dealing with a publisher that can just drop them whenever they feel like it. So I don't know, man, this is always rough to see, and it continues over and over, and we've been hearing it a lot from the Microsoft side lately.
There's some quotes in here as well which go on to kind of further confirm that this is being made very much on the business side, high up, by people who don't know what these people actually do that they're laying off a lot of the time.
Execs that are...
There's one quote from one of the people who said, in regards to the layoffs and the people who were laid off, they were integral. I feel like they were numbers on a sheet that got cut, but the real application of what they were doing was integral to making everything run correctly. Where they're kind of just pointing out that it is just people go, oh, we're paying like this much money for this person's salary? Well, if we get rid of them, we don't have to pay that much. And weirdly, one thing that's been happening recently is I've been getting a lot of old sketch comedy sketches that are just mocking big business executives, just being like, okay, but what if we just fire everyone and then we get their salaries for ourselves? And these are sketches from like 10, 20 years ago, but are just like flooding my For You page and stuff because they're even more relevant now, if anything, which is sad to see.
I got nothing else to say. It sucks.
Yep.
It's been a recurring topic, so that's all there is to that. So you can take your seatbelts off now. There's good positive-ish topics now to go over. The first one is Heavy Burns, one of the leads for Skyblivion, posted an update on his channel and showing off kind of what he's been doing and even some of the step-by-step stuff of what he's been doing to continuously polish up what's left of Skyblivion to do.
Yeah.
The main last step is them finishing up the Imperial City, and I think they're pretty much done after that point.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad that they're really close to being done now. Because obviously we had Oblivion Remastered just like a few months ago now. And it feels like Skyblivion could release in the not too distant future, like some point this year, which is a pretty close release date overall. It would be nice if there had been more of a gap between these two, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. But we also kind of knew this, like, last year.
Yeah.
That Oblivion Remastered was going to, like, either cut off the planned release of Skyblivion once we learned about it, or saw the rumors about it and stuff like that, or Skyblivion was gonna like suddenly have a bunch of progress made and be done in a swift manner. But I mean, it seems like Bethesda is headhunting them, or at least trying to treat them fairly, because they were invited to the Oblivion Remaster launch party and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to keep things kosher, I guess.
Yeah,
like
they're trying to play nice, which I appreciate. It does feel more like an unfortunate situation as opposed to like pure malice or anything.
Yeah. It does seem like, I don't know, it does seem like these were too close together to not be a coincidence kind of thing. But again, like, it's going to be a different beast entirely.
Yeah.
Too. Because this is a new interpretation of Oblivion, not just a one-for-one of Oblivion. Because we already got that, kind of, with Oblivion Remastered.
Yeah.
So we will get to see pretty soon what Skyblivion is like. And like I was saying, the video that we have linked below, as well as the other stuff we've been talking about so far, you get to see that both Martin and Uriel Septim's faces have been modeled after their actors quite a bit. So Uriel Septim just looks like Patrick Stewart with a crown. Which I think is really great.
I must admit, I do really love watching all the environment work. Like, there's something just really satisfying about watching an environment be built in a video game.
Yeah.
It's nice to see, so I'm glad a lot of this video is like the behind the scenes of like making signs and stuff. 'Cause it's very, very entertaining to watch.
Yeah. And like some of the stuff, like with the sign work, he was talking about doing it the quick and dirty way, and like none of us could really tell what that even means. like he said he was like using some preset assets and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's just kind of stuff we sort of do, just repurposing things, but like it looks great. So you know, if it serves its purpose, hey, there you go. As long as you're, you know, making it its own thing, which is definitely the case. But anyway, like if you want some behind the scenes stuff, if you have experience with 3D modeling too, like they are still looking for people to help in their final stretch of Skyblivion's creation, I guess. Because the Imperial City, they left that last as their big thing to do.
That makes sense. It's like a lot of the world of Oblivion doesn't feel that packed, but as soon as you enter the Imperial City, you're like, oh my god, this place is like huge, and there's so much here. Yeah. One thing I did notice when they were showing a little pan of Anvil, because he was showing a lot of Anvil stuff, is that the ocean facing wall is gone. So you can just from the city itself, you can see the ocean, because this Skyrim's engine doesn't have as much
limitations that require so many loading screens. So you can actually walk into Anvil and then also see the water, while you're there, which is cool. I like how that looks.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, you can already tell like the layout of Anvil is a little bit different too. Looking forward to it, for sure. It'll be new stuff to explore.
Yeah. God, there's gonna be so many videos just doing like side-by-side comparisons of Oblivion Remastered and Skyblivion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we'll have like a solid week on YouTube of just those flooding anyone who watches Elder Scrolls content regularly.
I'll do it. I'll do tips and tricks.
Yeah.
For Skyblivion. Maybe. Probably. I probably should.
Makes sense too.
Probably should. Or like new features that Skyblivion has over Skyrim and Oblivion. Something like that. But I thought that was a really good thing to cover. And for the last thing, speaking of cool things, I didn't even know that THQ Nordic had a digital showcase yesterday. So
I found out now.
That happened. The quick and dirty is Darksiders 4, Reanimal, Titan Quest 2, SpongeBob SquarePants, Titans of the Tide, Gothic Remake, Fate Keeper, The Guild, Europa something 14 something.
The Eternal Life of Goldman.
The Eternal Life of Goldman, thank you.
Yep.
Recreation with the W. Tides of Tomorrow, Wreckfest 2, Sacred 2, Remaster. And then the Gothic 1, 2, and 3 collection that is going to get a console release.
The Gothic remake and stuff does have me a little bit interested.
Same. Yeah.
Those are games I've kind of wanted to play and just haven't. Or, wait, is it Gothic that I'm going to have to check my Steam now. There's a whole bunch of games from around that era where it's like, oh, it's fantasy RPGs that weren't, like, the big ones. And, like, some of them I have played, some of them I haven't. And I can never remember. Gothic. Okay, it looks like I've not played Gothic. There's clearly another one I'm thinking of as well that's a similar sort of vibe. But yeah, Gothic's one of the games that I've got it. I've got, like, Gothic 1, 2, and 3, but I've just never actually booted them up. Risen's the other one I'm thinking of.
Never heard of that one.
Oh, it's okay. It's old. A problem with a lot of these games is they're very old, they're very dated. It's difficult to get back into them and stuff. There's just a lot of clunkiness here and there. So, with games like these, I'm like, oh, okay, a remaster of some kind, that could fix a lot of the clunkiness.
Yeah. And, I mean, we've already seen quite a few examples of that in the last decade or so of games getting a new lease on life, thanks to being improved and updated for modern audiences.
Yeah, I am liking the fact that we're getting remakes of games that are like over a decade old now. Because I feel like there was a 2 or 3 year period where it was like, hey, remember this game which came out a year or 2 ago? We've done a remaster. And it's like, that's nothing.
The Last of Us is notorious for that.
Yeah, I was thinking The Last of Us and The Outer Worlds. Both of those stick in my head as just like, why? Why did you bother? This is
well, the Spacer's Choice is even worse because it came out broken.
Yeah.
Like, it was not an improvement. And in fact, it was the opposite of that.
Like, it's fine now, but I played through Spacer's Choice recently, and I wouldn't have really been able to tell the difference, I don't think, of playing the standard game. Like, I genuinely don't think I could have told in the moment which one was which.
Anyway, I wanted to point out a game called Fate Keeper, which was of the list that I talked about. It's at 23 minute mark or so on this presentation here. It looks like another first-person RPG with a very, well, kind of a gritty, dark style to it.
Yeah.
With like Doom finishers almost.
I mean, for
or
me,
pretty close to
the
it.
combat reminds me most of Might and Magic, where it had a very kind of physical biff kick kind of combat feel.
Mm-hmm.
And this feels like they're really trying to put that same thing in. Like, your attacks seem maybe a little bit slow, but also like they've got real weight and they actually like push enemies around. God, that is something I'm loving to see more and more of in games. Because for so long we've had you hit an enemy and they just take damage, but in this, like, every attack that the player makes, the enemy is like somewhat staggered. There's at one point where you like physics a barrel, just like telekinesis it at an enemy, and they like fall down to one knee, and it's beautiful. It's just so good.
Yeah, there's obviously powers in this too of some kind. But like, I can't get over the finishers. They're so cool. But it's that impact that we were getting with something like Avowed. It looks much slower paced and deliberate from what they're showing. And a little trailer polished, a little quite a bit actually. Yeah. So not sure how this will look in gameplay, but it does look promising. For a first-person RPG kind of experience. And the reason I'm saying RPG is because I saw a little experience bar show up on the upper left-hand side when they killed something. So yeah, Fate Keeper. Keep your eyes on that one. Also, if you're a fan of the old Burnouts, keep an eye out for Recreation as well, because that is Three Fields Entertainment, former Burnout developers, who have been working on their own car games where they smash cars into stuff and they explode and nitro and all kinds of stuff. So there's that too. And yeah, Darksiders 4 was like one of the main attractions of this thing. It's still kind of a cult classic-y kind of series. It's definitely got its own vibe, but I totally forgot that I think War is voiced by Liam O'Brien, so I just hear Liam, which I think is funny. I know his voice fairly well now because he usually goes with the same like sad boy, dark antagonist or anti-hero kind of voice, and I think it's funny. Anyway, yeah, that's the THQNordic Digital Showcase. It's not very long; it's like 30 minutes.
Yep.
And they have a like snapshot of the 28 games that they showed off. So whatever 28 minus 15 is, that's how many games were shown.
Yeah.
Is 13? 13.
Yeah, about 13. We've got Gothic 1 to 3 Classic, and I'm not sure if that's one game or multiple. There's like over a dozen games.
Why did they do this?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, check that out if any of those names interested you, or if you want to just vary it up a little bit, because you can do that too.
I have already added Fate Keeper to my wish list on Steam. It's got a lot of cool stuff in there. There's a whole like character screen with weapons and stuff, and I quite like it. It's a good balance of like lots of the stat detail without being too ridiculous. Like there's a bunch of different things you can look at, but it's not like, oh, and here's a 1% increase to this or that or so on. I'm not doing a good job explaining it, but I think it's a good balance between having lots of information without it just being overwhelming.
Yeah, good. Well, you know what a lot of information can do to a person, and that's make them make lists about dateable NPCs.
Sure, let's go with it.
I didn't know where I was going with that either.
Yep, none of us did.
Yeah, according to TheGamer, there are 10 dateable Fallout characters that you can't actually romance, and they want Zachary Wiggs here wants to. Let's see if Sarge and I agree, I suppose.
Sure.
And also maybe come up with our own, and maybe we'll do a rating system too. I don't know. Do you want to start us off on this?
Sure, I'll take number 10. List? Yeah, I will say...
well, the intro first, too.
Oh, sorry. I will say before that as well, Fallout, I feel like, doesn't really have much in the way of romance. Like, Fallout 4, you do have some of the companions you can romance, but before then, and even after then, I can't think of any romance opportunities. Like, it's not a franchise famous for that.
Fallout 2, you can bang a lot of people.
Yeah, I was trying to create a distinction.
You can get married.
Oh, okay.
You can get married in Fallout 2. I think Fallout 2 is like the most involved in that sense, I suppose. I mean, you get married and that's it. They're like a permanent follower until they die or you divorce them. So
yeah, that sounds like marriage to me.
This is basically marriage.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. The little intro that Zachary's wrote here. With the trend of more and more RPG creators taking on the facet even of romance in their games, it can sometimes make you look back at other RPG series with a certain longing. Those older titles that only focus on story and combat seem to stand out more in comparison as time goes on. However, that doesn't mean we can't wonder what it would be like to romance characters in our favourite RPGs that don't have the option. Take the Fallout series, for instance. Sure, you can romance certain characters in Fallout 4, but the previous titles are rather lacking in moments of love in the wasteland. Which characters would you prefer to romance after the nuclear apocalypse?
Oh, hey, that's a hook.
That is a hook.
That's like an actual hook for an intro.
Mm-hmm. And Zachary's agreeing with me. Already.
Zachary's agreeing with you.
We've not even got onto the list.
It's a weirdly good start.
Do you want to take number 10
good?
then? It's going to be a bit disappointing if, like, some of the best writing is, hey, who do you want to date in the post-apocalypse? Like, this is not information that anyone needs. It's a purely opinion-based, which is fine, to be clear. I'm not discrediting that type of content, but the amount of, like, actual guide sort of adjacent stuff we've seen that's just terrible and filled with misinformation. It's a real shame if TheGamer does it this way around.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I'll start with 10?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 10. Mr. New Vegas. What a voice. We've all heard the sultry, smooth tones of Mr. New Vegas as we waded through the irradiated sands of the Mojave. No one is quite sure what he looks like, or where he is even, but his voice is enough to enthrall players and residents of New Vegas alike. If Fallout New Vegas did have a romance option, it would have been nice to have met and had the chance to woo Mr. New Vegas himself. He already had plenty of things to say about Courier 6's adventures, and who is to say he didn't find your character interesting more than just as news?
Alright, immediately my brain got a bit confused because I confused Mr. House and Mr. New Vegas.
Different.
Yes, they are different. Mr. New Vegas is just a radio host, which also is why I'm not really familiar with him, because I don't use the radio in Fallout games.
Yeah. Well, for the limited amount of time I had listened to the radio in New Vegas, I will fully agree that Mr. New Vegas has a sultry voice, and I'm pretty sure he had to have been like a popular voice artist or DJ.
Wayne Newton is who I'm getting on a quick
Wayne
Google.
Newton. Ah, okay.
Who's an American singer and actor.
83 years young.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I'm very glad it doesn't say died here, which I was searching for, because, yeah, he's obviously getting on a fair bit. And it talks about him being, like, a popular singer in the mid to late 20th century, which also, I think that's kind of brilliant casting. Because Fallout's obviously frozen in the past future, somewhat. So getting someone whose voice very much fits that and actually had some fame in that version, albeit our timeline rather than theirs, that's really good casting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he had been it was like a Las Vegas performer too, so like that is literally him doing him.
Yeah.
It seems like. But a DJ instead of a singer.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, one of his other names is Mr. Las Vegas. So clearly they were just like, oh, Mr. New Vegas then.
Oh wow. Yeah. So this is really on the nose and also accurate. Yeah, he has a smooth, sultry voice, and it seems like it's made for singing.
One of the things on his Wikipedia page is just a single sentence that is, he has perfect pitch. Which I kind of love.
Great. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree, I suppose, with number 10. A voice is great when it's telling you your story and accurate and saying positive things about you all the time. Maybe it's some Fallout ASMR from Mr. New Vegas.
Yeah, have you heard Mr. New Vegas at all? Can you even remember his voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a like classic how do I describe somebody's deep voice? Like buttery?
Buttery's good. I can get that.
Buttery voice?
Yeah. I've definitely had like certain voices that I've heard that I've gone, oh yeah, that's an attractive voice. So I get this overall.
It's one of those that just kind of feels good to hear him speak. Like you could listen to him like read an audiobook to you and you'd be like, this is nice.
I've often thought about doing like some kind of voice training to improve my voice, because I know just the power of having a really good voice. It's something else.
Yeah. So yeah, Mr. New Vegas, agree.
Yeah, I think that's a solid 10th place one, especially because we only get the voice.
Yeah,
it feels like it couldn't really get to the top in my opinion. All right, on to number 9 now. Cleo of Locksley. You didn't always have the time to get to know the characters of the first Fallout game, with having to save the West Coast and all. During your travels, your character meets some of the more odd inhabitants of the series, but as far as factions go, they were definitely weirder than the Circle of Thieves. One of the members, Cleo, would have been an excellent character to romance. It never hurts to have a romantic partner in an RPG with a particular skill set, and a futuristic Thieves Guild member would have been a fun addition for all those locked doors everywhere.
This is okay. This is a deep cut, and I appreciate it. Even more so that I have so little experience with the Circle of Thieves in Fallout 1. I constantly forget about them.
I don't think I met them at all when I did my Fallout playthrough.
I think they're found in like a basement on the east side of town where Harold is in the hub. But I think their mission that they give you is like to steal from what's his face, the crime boss, the next map over. So I'm usually just like, nah. I'm not gonna do that. He's got a lot of armed guards. I'm not armed.
Very high risk, low reward sort of mission.
Yeah. Whereas you can just be like, I'm gonna go to the glow later, because you can just take some Rad-X and be good instead.
Yeah.
So point is, I don't know much about Cleo besides that she's a part of this Thieves Guild.
Yeah, I will say the article as well, we don't get a lot of information about her personality or anything. It's literally just like, well, she's got a skill set. Like, I don't mean to seem super fussy, but I generally choose my romantic partners based on more than just can they pick a lock.
It's like the same reason I bring Kate. I'm just like, yeah, I like Kate. She picks locks for me. Mm-hmm. That's all she does. That's all I need her for, obviously.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I really approve of this example.
Yeah, I honestly don't know about this one because I don't. When I saw Cleo, I was thinking Cleo with a K.
Yeah, that's where
Fallout
my brain
4.
went first.
Yeah.
And that I get.
Yeah, same. Yeah. But, speaking of sultry voices.
Yeah, Cleo here, we... Besides, like, her faction affiliation, we just really don't know anything about her. I do wonder how many of these are going to be superficial examples. Because the first one was just got a nice voice, second one got a nice skill set. Like, I hope we get some more deepness to this, some more like, oh yeah, this person's got a real personality that I latch onto.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's a lot more left to the imagination. Maybe we're going into theater of the mind kind of stuff.
It's like how sometimes you meet a person for the first time and they're just like kind of nice or something, and then you're like, oh my god, they're perfect. And then you actually get to know them and are like, oh no, they're just a regular person. That's fine.
Yeah. I do like how they had a shot of the front area of the hub.
Yeah, we've got
which
two
is not
pictures
where
here,
she is.
Which is just, one of them is the hub in general, which is like, yeah, she's somewhere in this kind of area.
No, well, that's the thing. Like, this is the front entrance of the hub, too. This is not even the proper town.
Yeah. And the other one is just like her standing staring at a wall/door, where we only see her side on and everything. Like, it's so little to go off. She's even like half camouflaged, with her top being a similar sort of greyish colour to the wall. And her trousers
she's wearing a
being
black leather
brown to
jacket.
there. It's like...
Against the grey wall.
She so doesn't stand out.
Yep.
I thought it was just a case of, for the first one, we only had like a picture of New Vegas and the radio, and I was like, that makes sense, we don't see the guy. But I am wondering about what the picture choice is going to be like from here on out.
Yeah, same.
Alright, Caedo, take us away with number 8.
Okay. Number 8, Fahrenheit, Hot and Cold. Fallout 4 did have some options when it came to romance, but it was mostly limited to your companions. When you look at the entire cast of Fallout 4, there are plenty of other good romance options that would have been interesting to be able to flirt with. Fahrenheit is a side character who would have been perfect for those with an adventuring side. Right hand to Good Neighbor's mayor, she is more than able to handle her own in a post-apocalyptic world. She's the quiet type, but not to be taken lightly. A perfect match for the protagonist's own combat prowess. We're looking at practical romance.
Yeah, this person seems to have very, fulfilling obligation focused romantic ideals. I do agree with Fahrenheit, though. Fahrenheit's a fairly cool character. She is, like they do point out, she's able to handle herself. She also is quite a strong but silent type, almost. Fits close to that archetype. She does talk and have things to say. She's got a bit of attitude and stuff to her. But she mostly is content to just take the back seat, which, yeah, fits with her being Hancock's bodyguard, essentially. She's cool.
Yeah.
I do have some slight frustration with her, because I actually played through the mission where she's, like, where you properly encounter her, and she's, like, a core component. And she's like, oh, you're gonna have to kill this other person. We need this other person dead, who's also in the room. And she doesn't help with the fighting at all. And she's got Ashmaker, which is an incendiary minigun with her.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't help, and I was doing this in survival mode. And it's like, it's a difficult mission in survival mode, and it's so frustrating just having Fahrenheit and a couple of triggermen just standing on a bridge up above watching me get blasted apart. Not a fan of that.
Yeah, kind of mean. Well, you weren't paying her to guard you, that's the problem.
Yeah.
She's a merc.
She is. I don't think Fahrenheit's a bad choice. I'm trying to remember, like, I did listen to her. She's got some fun interactions with Hancock as well. If you just are with Hancock in Good Neighbor and she's about, the two of them will chat, which is a nice little touch.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that. Yeah. I haven't, like, played Fallout 4 in a while.
Man, I vaguely remember it, and it was probably only, like, 3 weeks ago that this happened. Like, it wasn't that long ago. At least it's
fresher in your mind, though.
Yeah. But yeah, Fahrenheit's decent.
Yeah, yeah. I will agree with this choice, even though the criteria is definitely more like, can they hold a gun?
Yeah.
Can they use lockpicks, you know?
Let's see how many of these are just practical.
Can they DJ the radio?
Yeah, the first one, like, the nice voice, I'm like, oh, okay, that at least feels like something. But for each of these, we're just getting, nope, this is one thing. That's all I want from a partner.
Can you do this job?
Thing.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Yep, on to number 7, The King. Hail to the King, baby. De facto leader of Freeside, the King is easily one of the more peculiar characters in the Fallout universe, but somehow he fits in perfectly with the rest of New Vegas. The King is happy to help Courier 6 as long as he gets something in return. After the quest with Rex, he takes an interest in the Courier's path, but it would have been interesting to make him more than an ally. A romantic partner as powerful as the King would have obvious benefits, but a place to stay on Freeside and a romance that you could only get in the Fallout series would be more than enough. He's just looking for a place to crash now. This is another one where it's like, okay, what is the advantage to me personally from dating this person? Jeez, man, this is...
Don't forget about the free haircuts.
Zachary, this is not a good look. Man, I wonder if Zachary is in a relationship and if their partner's seen this and is like, we need to talk, buddy.
That's funny.
I mean, some people are, like, attracted to power and influence and stuff. I think it's generally viewed as a bad thing, but... I mean, surely a lot of people, like, were big into Elvis and stuff. So
oh, yeah.
The transitive attraction would go in play there with the king, who's just mimicking Elvis.
Yeah.
So that works. They've got a terrible picture of him here, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
The picture we're looking at, he's like half sneering and looking up at us in a
is him sitting
way.
in the chair.
Yeah, which is not how I envision the king at all. Like, this is a terrible photo of him, and it's the only one we have of him in this article.
Yep.
Like, horrible, horrible photo.
I do appreciate the extra screenshots, though, for context.
Yeah, every one of these has just, like, a picture of the character and then a picture of roughly where they're at. And this one, we do get the King's School of Impersonation, which is, you know, very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I mean, personally, I wouldn't go with the King.
But Sarge, he has a dog!
He does have a dog, but then we take the dog, so we don't need him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he's not, like, terrible, and I do get that for some people he'd very much be their type, but it does nothing for me. I'm not a big fan of the King.
Yeah. I will have to agree. I mean, been hetero all my life, but, you know, I still recognize an attractive man when I see one, and there's not really any qualities I'm looking for in the King either, so...
I mean, on the physical attraction side of things, the older games are really going to suffer on that. Just, like, bad graphics in general. Just...
I mean, I was trying to go along the lines of, like, oh, he's got, you know, skills in impersonating a character. Maybe he's got the moves, too. Maybe he's, you know, musically inclined because there's a freaking guitar on the big sign. I hope somebody plays guitar, you know. Yeah. But, yeah, not really my type.
Alright, let's move on to number 6 then.
Okay. Oh, this is fun. Number 6. Your own spouse. It only makes sense. Fallout 4's options of characters to flirt with were fairly varied, from the down-on-her-luck boxer to a robotic noir detective. But there is a glaringly obvious person that would have been interesting to romance a bit. That is, of course, your own spouse. Sure, the intro of Fallout 4 was perfectly timed to get a sense of the world and plot and give the protagonist a reason to explore it, but a little more flirting at the beginning between the two characters would have been a fun option, even if it was only for those who made the right dialogue choices. We do.
Yeah, you do flirt with your follower.
We do get to flirt a little bit, oddly, in Sean's room, but unless I misremembered.
No, it's, in the room, kind of. Technically, like, on the couch, there's some vaguely flirty dialogue. Some of it is gonna be down to, like, what you consider to be flirty, but...
Yeah, but this is the first example of, like not just going the practical direction with, like, does your spouse have skills? Like, so, thankfully, it's breaking the trend a little bit here.
Yeah. But this is also, like, the only guaranteed romance in the game, or in the entire series. This is, like, canonically the only romance that does happen in all of Fallout.
Yeah, true. It's canon.
Yeah, which I'm kind of like, man, I wish we could romance our wife/husband.
If only we went on that date and died in the blast.
Yeah. This person's basically asking, like, can we maybe have, like, a day or two before Fallout 4 actually starts? Yeah.
I would have kind of liked to see more of pre-war area, because it looked nice. But people also like to get into the wasteland. So.
Yeah, as someone who's started up Fallout 4 dozens and dozens and dozens of times, like, probably closing in close to 100 times at this point.
Yeah, you're an exception.
Yeah,
Sarge.
I'm very much like, no, less of the start, please, less of it. I just want to actually play the game now.
You want the intro to be faster so you can do your build.
Yeah, and challenge runs and just
And challenge
casual
runs.
playthroughs, and
Yep.
there's so many times I've started that game.
Yeah.
I mean, I do obviously skip the pre-war stuff now with dedicate a couple of saves just at the end of the vault, but still.
Yeah. I think it would have been cool. Like, this would have been, like, even if it was a side dialogue thing that you could make the choice to, like, spend extra time with your spouse before,
Yeah.
the rest of the game kicked off.
I mean, you
Because-
can technically spend some time if you just don't
But,
answer
yeah.
the door.
Bethesda
Then your
games
spouse
are
just is
still...
like, hey, go answer the door, and you just stand there
Yeah.
motionless.
Bethesda games do still rely on the player for a lot of the progress to be made, so you could just linger in your house.
Yep.
Just never go outside. Hey, bombs didn't drop. Weird.
Man,
Yeah.
you could save the entire world if you just never leave your house in Fallout 4.
Yeah. Or get it speedrun and run away from the vault and die.
I do think there is like a specific speedrun category or something for Fallout 4, kind of a jokey one, which is just die as fast as possible, and it is just like sprinting through the opening.
That's funny. I think 6 is valid.
We're gonna disagree a bit on that.
Okay.
Yeah. I think 6 already is an option, so it doesn't qualify.
Oh, okay, fine.
But number 5, I think, is a much more popular one, and a name which I'm gonna butcher. Oh man, how do you even pronounce his second name? Do you know, Caedo?
Tejada?
Okay, Raul Tejada is number 5, Gunslinger Extraordinaire. Few RPG games have had the wide emotional register that Fallout New Vegas has. There are heartbreaking moments, plenty of action, and everything in between. And much of that comes from the well-written characters that call the game home. One such character, Raul Tejada, has a checkered past, and depending on how you interact with him, may be willing to take on who he was once more. While seeing Raul morph as the game went on was exciting, it would have been interesting to go farther than being gunslinger partners with him, maybe even cozying down in the Mojave somewhere. Interestingly, Raul is the last, or most recent, Fallout New Vegas follower that I had.
Cool.
So he's most present in my mind from all of the New Vegas followers.
Nice.
And for that reason, I wouldn't date him. Raul's okay, but I feel like a relationship with him would be annoying.
Yeah.
Like, he can be a bit snarky and sarcastic and not quite mean, but not kind either.
And
Like,
yeah, he does have that sarcasm, and he also calls you boss, which unless you're
things a little
into that,
weird.
that's a weird dynamic.
yeah.
And also he complains about like his knees especially, and like his body giving out and stuff like that. And like if you're even remotely younger in any sense, again, I don't know if the dynamic would work very well. Again, unless you're into that. Which is possible. This is headcanon land. But I don't agree with this one really.
Yeah. For me, the complaining's too much. Like, being friends with someone who's a bit of a complainer, a bit just moans about stuff and whatever,
Yeah.
that's fine. You get them in small doses. But a partner who you're going to be spending a lot of time with who's always complaining, I'm like, nah, that's... I've got a limit. And Raul's very grumpy for the most part.
And this puts, like, when you're doing comparisons to the ghoul we can romance, Hancock, like, he was made to be a charismatic character.
Oh, Hancock's brilliant.
And you can tell. And also, he doesn't complain about his joints because he's probably on drugs all the time and doesn't feel it. So, like, a little bit of a quirk in there too. Like, you know, that's a pretty big difference, I think, between the characters. So I don't know. We might come back to like ghouls that we would pick maybe, but
I mean,
Raoul would not be a pick for me.
I'll say I've recently done a Hancock playthrough, and man, that character is probably my favourite Fallout 4 companion at this point.
Oh, really?
Like, the problem is he's really difficult to get as a follower. Like, he's one of the hardest followers to actually get, so this is probably like the second time I've ever had him as a follower, but I align almost perfectly morally to Hancock in every way. And he's also just really charming, and as you say, very charismatic and stuff, and he's a lot of fun while still, like, understanding his responsibilities, which, just for people in general, I find is a really difficult balance to strike. a lot of the time people who are like, woo, let's have some fun and stuff, also ruin a lot of things, and are not at all, like, socially conscious or anything like that. Whereas Hancock manages to be both, in a way where it doesn't feel like it's two separate entities. It's very much both a part of each other, and Hancock's brilliant.
That's great.
Right, number 4, take it away.
Oh boy! Aha! Vance. A bloody good time! Aha! There are plenty of games that have vampires in them, and sooner or later someone is going to fall in love with said vampire. Something about the gothic nature of them just brings out the romance, and Fallout 3's Vance surely was no exception. Hidden deep within an old metro station, Vance is the leader of a group of misunderstood inhabitants of the capital wasteland. Between his moody nature and well-spoken ways, it would have been interesting to have the option to romance him, even if it wasn't the most healthy relationship.
People love romancing vampires.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been a culty romance, for sure, but people love romancing vampires. That's what else is there to say?
I mean, I mentioned, like, earlier the whole graphics thing and how it kind of goes against them. But in Vance's case, he's kind of cute. Like, once again, the graphics aren't great, but it feels like they've tried to make an attractive-looking character as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a few in Fallout 3 that are a bit less putty-looking than the rest of them, and some that you could call attractive.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also, like, the trench coat does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I get this one.
Yeah.
I think I've got, like, basically no notes. Like, it probably wouldn't be a healthy relationship. Like, to be fair, he can somewhat be reasoned with.
Yeah, but, like, I'm going to parallel this to, like, stoner rants, because I have been around stoners a lot of my life. Not that I am one, gonna go on record right now, but when you're around somebody who does a lot of waxing poetic about the meaning of existence and life and stuff like that, and trying to get a philosophical response out of you to the degree that Vance does and on a semi-regular basis, because like this place has tenants, like they have a rule set, like it is culty. So like he's gonna be asking you these hypotheticals on a semi-regular basis, or at the very least asking you to continue if there's like new members or stuff like that. And that stuff's just annoying to me.
Yeah.
To be honest.
You have put me off him a little bit. Especially the hypotheticals and stuff. Like, I do hate the recent trend I see online of people being like, hey, give this hypothetical to your partner, and unless they answer this one specific way, they failed and they're terrible in this relationship. And like, no, we don't need all these hypotheticals. Maybe base the relationship off of actual stuff, not just constant hypothetical scenarios and expecting
one of them TikTok trends? Is that what this is?
It's not even like one TikTok trend. There's a lot of relationship advice where it's like, oh, you should test your partner, and especially it's like, oh, test your boyfriend. In terms of TikTok trend, the "Would you love me if I was a worm" was like kind of a famous part of that, because I think it was ridiculous enough that a lot of people were able to joke around with it. But it also somewhat stemmed from the side of the internet that was like, okay, and your partner has to give this specific response that they say yes, they would love you, and also they'd look after you and do all of this stuff, and like, yeah, there's a lot of those out there.
Can we go back to 100 men fighting a gorilla? Can we do that, please?
God, that entered the whole relationship space as well, Caedo. None of it's safe. None of it's safe.
No.
Yeah, hypotheticals in relationships, I'm a big no on those, so...
Okay.
Yeah, you have put me off them a bit.
Okay.
Alright, let's move
number 3.
on. Yes, number 3, we have 2 people in one, it seems. We have The Mechanist, Love Stronger Than Steel. Of the repeating characters in the Fallout games, few have had the lasting effect as The Mechanist. That's not grammatically correct. More of an idea than a sole person, either of the people who have claimed the role of the mechanical mastermind would have been a fun opportunity to romance in their respective games. Being able to have a budding relationship surrounded by robotic companions would have been something that not a lot of RPGs can boast. That's to be sure. Plus, you may have even been able to craft a superhero persona for yourself, too. First off, already can craft a superhero persona for myself. Don't need help, thank you. Secondly, I feel like there's a difference between these two. Like, I can't remember either of the characters' names. I mean, not only are they literally two different people,
Yeah.
but I'm talking, like, more personality-wise. Like, I feel like the original Mechanist felt a bit more genuinely crazy to me, and while you could, like, convince them and stuff, the original Mechanist very much felt like they were more unhinged, whereas, I'm so annoyed I can't quite remember her name, but the Mechanist...
Isabel?
I think Isabel? Maybe Isabella? Something like that?
Oh, I gotta look it up now.
Okay. Yeah, the Fallout 4 Mechanist, she feels much more just...
Isabel
like
Cruz. Yep.
Isabel Cruz. Man, isn't that close to, like, a celebrity name? Because I actually had, like, that Cruz pop up. Like, C-R-U-Z, I assume is how it's spelled, pop up in my head, and I was like, no, that's a celebrity I'm thinking of, like some famous actor, but maybe not. Regardless, the Fallout 4 Mechanist to me feels like just more of a naive individual who's very, like, hopeful and good-hearted, but made a mistake, whereas the Fallout 3 Mechanist feels like kind of just a crazy person.
One of them is good-intentioned, the other one is, like, not processing his grief properly and taking it out on a villain that was made up.
Yes. Oh man, another huge distinction as well. The Fallout 3 Mechanist is out and about watching their actions firsthand. Whereas Isabella in Fallout 4, she's like tucked away and doesn't actually see the consequences. She's just getting reports back.
Yeah.
So she has like that level of disconnect which causes this to be a thing. Whereas the Fallout 3 one, like, firsthand sees, like, all the troubles he's causing and how nobody likes him doing this.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'd say this one's 50% correct. Because Fallout 4 Mechanist, not an amazing choice, but I think as a player you do take on a bit of a role of improving her as a person, which I think is an admirable thing within a relationship.
Or shooting her in the face.
Or shooting her in the face, which is not an admirable thing in a relationship. That's one of the try to avoid column. But yeah, I think...
but you have a choice.
Yeah, she's quite hopeful, even when she is, like, discouraged and stuff. And she's obviously quite smart as well, works in all these robot stuff like that. She seems nice.
After you fight through her entire robot army.
Yeah, she does try and murder you, but this is the post-apocalypse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not holding that against anyone, honestly. Honestly, even not in the post-apocalypse, I'm like, you try and kill me, but then you're nice afterwards, it'll probably be fine. Like,
how many robots did you send to self-destruct on me?
Yeah.
Oh, like 10. It's just 10.
Attempted murder is not one of my red flags.
Not in Fallout.
Not in the real world either. Go for it, people. No. Successful murder, though, that is a red flag. I will be very annoyed with you after.
Ah, yes. There's the specifics.
Yeah. I will say once again, not actually said anything about their personalities. This time he is talking about like two different people. But he's once again being like, would be cool to be surrounded by robots, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Pretty vague, but I don't know. It still takes the practical route, which we already kind of expected that for the rest of them. So next one. Is that me? Oh yeah, it is me.
It's you.
Number 2. Oh, already on number 2. Sarah Lyons, Knight in Shining Power Armor. I like these puns.
Yeah, so good.
Leader of the Lion's Pride, Sarah Lyons is the Knight of the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 3. Is a Knight of the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 3. One of the first Brotherhood of Steel members you meet in the game. She is arguably one of the most kind-hearted and level-headed of the BOS members you meet in recent games. She saves the protagonist's life as they enter DC, arguable, DC Metro, completely unprepared for the horde of supermutants ahead. Taking that connection and moving it into romance would have paired well with the rest of the game's plot, especially considering how much the BOS was a crucial part of the protagonist's journey.
At least in this one, Zachary mentions that she's kind-hearted and level-headed.
Yes.
which is like some actual personality related traits.
And here's an interesting thing. That would change the if like it would happen before the finale, like that would definitely change the dynamic of the Project Purity situation too. Like one of us has to turn it off. Like that would hit way harder if that were the case. Just thinking about that in general. And also, this is like galaxy braining right now, but Arthur has a crush on, like, Kid Arthur has a crush on Sarah Lyons. So her non-existence in Fallout 4 could have been him if the romance happened. Because he was angry that you dated her instead.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would make Arthur way worse as a person. Like, he's already like questionable in terms of morals and stuff. But yeah.
I want to make it drama mama.
I will say Sarah Lyons, I get that option. One thing I can't help but focus on so heavily here, because of the image we've been supplied with, is that she has blonde hair but like really dark brown eyebrows. And now I'm wondering, does she dye her hair blonde?
That's most of the characters in Fallout. I don't think any of them have different colored eyebrows.
So it's like, is every like non-brunette in the wasteland dyeing their hair regularly? That's something I won't be able to stop thinking about.
If anybody had access to the bleach, it would be the Brotherhood of Steel. So
yeah,
she probably just bleaches
get those
her hair.
rads out.
Makes
and then
sense
she'll be
to
like,
me.
"Oh, I can't go out on a date tonight. I'm bleaching my hair of rads." Yeah, I don't have a problem with Sarah Lyons as an option here. She is. I do think it's mentioned here that her kind-heartedness and stuff is like relative to the Brotherhood of Steel overall. Because in general, they're a bit gruff and grumpy and not particularly nice.
Yeah.
So I feel like she is a sensible romance choice if you like that faction as well. Because most of the Brotherhood people would not be good romance options.
Correct.
Just feels like they would have no interest in that.
Sure glad I didn't pick Dr. Lee.
We still got option number one, Caedo. Number one, Dr. Lee. Caedo's favourite follower.
You're incorrect.
No, number one is... I don't think anyone's really going to be too surprised by this. Veronica
Sant'Angelo?
Yeah, I knew how to pronounce it, but my brain saw the word Santa in there and was like, you gotta say Santa. Santa Angelo. Santa Angel of Jello. Veronica Sant'Angelo, somewhat better, a troubled past. Of the companion characters in Fallout New Vegas, few are as interesting or as powerful as Veronica. With a long road behind her and ahead of her, it was interesting for players to learn more about her history with the elusive Brotherhood of Steel, and her ideas on how the Mojave should operate. It would have been a fun addition for female-presenting players to have the option to romance her in the end, especially after getting her addressed during her companion questline. They could have even tied it into the Followers of Apocalypse or Brotherhood of Steel choice at the end as well. I think a lot of people want to date Veronica.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's Felicia Day who voices her, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I think that plays into it as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Felicia Day herself is a knockout, so like, it's pretty obvious. It's a pretty easy choice, I think.
Yeah, I feel like people fill in the gaps of what's missing from Veronica with Felicia Day, and that just makes her like more nerdy, more charming, more friendly, and just really puts her into like a lot of people's top choice for who they wish they could romance in the apocalypse.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Even though I kind of agree with the list, I also don't agree with her being like wanting her to be a romanceable character, because her tragedy with Christine is like part of what makes her character so great.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. like Christine was her lover, Christine that you meet in Dead Money. And you also learn about Elijah, the elder that was at that Brotherhood chapter until he lost his mind. But also, you know, he was Veronica's mentor. So like it's all kinds of crazy stuff, one after another, of like Veronica kind of suffering, and still finding ways to, you know, silver lining kind of thing. I don't know, makes her a very strong individual, I think, in New Vegas. I don't know if I feel like I butchered my thoughts there, but that's...
I get what you're talking about. Like, it feels kind of wrong to be in a relationship with her while there's still all this essentially emotional baggage and trauma that she suffered from her kind of events following her past relationship. It's... Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was established that Christine and Veronica didn't want to, like, end things. They just could not be together.
Yeah.
Based on circumstances. So,
yeah, I can't remember the specifics, but it feels like something like that occurred.
Christine had to go hunt down Elijah. Like, that's what she had to do.
Yeah.
And Veronica had to stay in the bunker or something.
Yeah, part of me does headcanon that Veronica will just, some point in the future, go to the Sierra Madre.
Yeah.
Because that feels like a nice, somewhat happy ending for her story. Like, the two of them can just end up running that place, keeping it safer and keeping other people away.
If I remember right, you do get a message to bring back to Veronica, which is nice.
Yeah, I know there's some interactions between the two, but I can never remember exactly what they are.
Yeah, I think it's cool. The way that it is.
Yeah.
But I also like a bit of a simp for the Dead Money expansion as a whole.
Dead Money's great.
Yeah.
I will say there is some slight parallels between this situation and the Fallout 4, where it always does feel a bit weird to me that Fallout 4 is the main game where you can do lots of romances, and the game basically starts with your partner dying. And it's like, cool, it's been 2 days for me. I mean, technically it's been like 50 years or however long it actually is between your partner getting shot.
I just think of the second Austin Powers movie. He's like, yay, I'm single again. It's so stupid.
It's like, yeah, for you in real time it's been like 100 hours maybe since your partner died and you watched it happen, and now you're flirting with a new person, and it's like, boy, really moving on quite fast there.
Yeah.
This is someone who you were married and had a kid with. This doesn't feel like it was a short relationship.
Because, yeah, if you are following the story, too, you will bump into, like, Piper at the very least. Like, that's just required. So, yeah. And you can literally trip into romance dialogue.
Oh, yeah. It's quite easy to do. And Piper in particular, not only do you meet her early, but I feel like she's a fairly quick one to boost affinity with. So in, like, game time, it probably would be, like, within a week, you're already getting the option to flirt with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, a question for everyone listening, who do you think was missing from the list?
Yeah.
And question for Caedo as well, who do you think was missing from the list?
Well, this was a very Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas focused list.
Yeah.
I think.
Like, we had...
Well, we did have a couple...
three Fallout 4 options, technically, and one from Fallout 2. But about half of them were New Vegas.
Yeah. Published July 4th, 2025. There's no edits here either.
Yeah, this is a recent one.
This was this year. Glad I grabbed this one. So I would say I almost want to bring up a Fallout 76 character because no 76 characters were brought up. And
is it going to be Commander Daggerfall?
I mean, no, you can date her, though. You can romance.
Okay, that's what I was going to double check because I couldn't remember if that was the case. Because she's like a nerdy astronaut. That is...
Yeah. Yep, that is her
obvious choice for so many people.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually going to suggest Beckett.
I was just thinking about Beckett.
One of the first,
as I often
like,
do.
camp allies that you can get in the game, because his backstory is so good. I've geeked about it several times before, but former Blood Eagle, which is like basically the fiends of Fallout 76. At least that's kind of
sort of, they're a raider gang.
They're a raider gang that is like heavily into like chem usage and just being crazy and doing awful things. Like they put the regular raider gangs to shame, basically, when it comes to evil. But Beckett's story revolves around him getting away from the Blood Eagles, as well as trying to find his brother at the same time. And like, that whole scenario is like, you get to see like a lot of raw emotion being shown in a situation that is very relatable in multiple ways. Especially when it comes to, like, if you've ever had somebody in your life that has dealt with like substance abuse and stuff like that, like it deals with that kind of stuff in Beckett's quest as well. So I don't know, I felt a crazy connection to that story, and generally want more out of that character than him just being a bar at my camp after after everything, because that's what he turns into a camp ally, where you can, you know, set up his camp object, which is a bar, and he'll just be there serving drinks for all time if you leave him there.
He does tend to be my go-to camp follower. It's him or a Raider Punk, but Raider Punk's kind of out of the way, so if I just don't want to follow her, I'll have the Raider Punk, because he just stays out there. But if I want something that fits in well, I feel like Beckett is kind of the best choice there.
Yeah. I picked Daggerfall, but she does complain about headaches a lot.
Yeah.
I dressed her up as a ghoul, though, too, which is fun. She's got the glowing ghoul mask. It's to scare people wandering by. But yeah. So what is your suggestion then?
Man, I'm struggling now, because a couple of the options I thought of are actual options, and I'm really not sure I can think of anyone. Like, I was doing a quick bit of Googling, my brain was like, maybe Johnny Weston from the Raider Gang in Appalachia, the Crater Raiders, but no. Like, he's kind of charming, but that wears off real quick. Like, I'm really actually struggling to think of anyone that isn't already romanceable, because I checked as well, Preston Garvey is romanceable, and he's someone where I'm like, yeah. But, God, I'm really struggling to think of anyone else.
I mean, I know Nick Valentine is not romanceable, but I know a lot of people want to romance him.
He wouldn't be a choice for me, but...
He wouldn't be a choice? Okay.
No. But I don't hate Nick or anything. It's another one where it's like, better off as friends.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I should have more choices. I'm also someone who really doesn't do romance in video games.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't pick the romance option, like, ever.
Yeah, they said Fallout characters, though, too, so, like, you can pick any character.
Yeah.
Really nothing coming to mind.
No, I don't get that attached to most of the characters in the game. Maybe Moira Brown.
Okay.
That's a
decision.
Doesn't approve sound. No, Moira Brown, she's very upbeat and kind of excitable. She's nice, you know? She's a positive, glowing light in the wasteland. You know what? There's someone else who I wouldn't fully go in with, but could kind of see, is Lucas Sims, the sheriff of Megaton as well. Mm-hmm. He's kind of cool. Kinda. Like...
Yeah.
I feel like he's a bit old for me, to be honest. I don't know quite how old he is, but it's like, he feels like he's like
old enough to have a kid and no wife to be found?
Yeah, that could be awkward as well. Yeah, there's not many characters. You made the joke earlier of Kellogg, who gets brought up as a bit of a joke, but that's, for me, that really isn't I really like this guy and wish I could date him. This is more of he's a really interesting character, and I feel like more could have been done with him, and instead he was just railroaded into this thing. I think another popular option, we obviously saw Mr. New Vegas listed there, but I'm surprised Free Dog wasn't mentioned, because Free Dog is popular, and he's a radio DJ who we do meet.
Yeah. Voiced by Eric Todd Dellums. Yeah, I would... Yeah, that makes sense to me. For sure. Let's see. I wanted to say there was another... Oh, Cleo for sure. Cleo and...
we mentioned Cleo in Good Neighbor,
yeah. Like, it was in passing, but Cleo and Good Neighbor, absolutely.
Yeah. She's the sassy Assaultron.
Mm-hmm. Yep. If you like femme fatale, she is the femist and the fatalist, man.
Mm-hmm. Super fatale.
Just when you go in for a kiss, just avoid the laser. It's otherwise half your head's gonna be
she's
missing.
not got any lips.
I can't think of any other. I wish I could help out more. Think of other characters.
Yeah. Once again, I have the problem of not that interested in romancing people in video games.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who are super into it, but for me, it just creates more emotional pressure, and it feels like that's not good for me and not what I want. I don't want to be more stressed out while playing my video games and be like, oh my god, that's my partner, they're getting shot at because I took him into combat, but then it's like, oh, this person's my partner, and I force them to stay at home constantly because I'm scared of them getting hurt, and that's like, no, now I'm being controlling, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think that just means you gotta play more BioWare games.
No. I finished Dragon Age Inquisition, and to be fair, what's his name? Blackwall. I think Blackwall was the person I romanced in that.
Blackwall is...
the Grey Warden in Inquisition. Is like one of the earliest followers you meet.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of liked him.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Dorian's like the good-looking one.
But this guy's got the tall, dark, and handsome going on.
Yeah. He's a bit gruff, once again.
Yeah.
Which I'm not super into, but I think also because he's an early follower, I built up more of a connection with him. Because, like, the few times I tried to get into the game as well, I always made it far enough to meet him. So I was meeting him every time. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Inquisition's, like, probably the most romance-likely game I've played. And even then, I think only him I romanced, and then I was like, I don't really like romancing in video games. It's just not for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I like getting extra stories. And also, some characters have, like, a gruff exterior, and then you can
yeah,
peel away the layers and then see that they're actually just a big softie, a little teddy bear. And it's great. Case in point, Jack from Mass Effect. She is amazing. And also, same voice actress as Nora in Fallout 4. There's also that. Different vibes, though.
Very different vibes.
Very different vibes. Yeah. So, anyway, if you have, again, like Sarge said, if you have romanceable characters, we left a lot of space for female-presenting characters. So, please share your interest. Don't say Dr. Lee, though. Please. Anybody besides Dr. Lee. Now everybody's going to say Dr. Lee, just because I said it.
I mean, some people might really like Dr. Lee. I don't know why, but
they're
might.
wrong, and they might get banned.
Oh god. I mean, even I like make jokes about like, oh, Dr. Lee, everyone's favorite, but she's no. I don't hate her anywhere near as much as Caedo does, but god, a relationship with her would be hell.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the kind of person who would complain about every little thing you did.
Sure would.
And would have like one very specific way to do everything, and would kind of belittle you for not doing things the same way as her.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't feel like it would be healthy.
Not a fan. Anyway, what are you doing besides not dating Dr. Lee, Sarge?
Well, obviously, not dating Dr. Lee takes up a lot of my time. I have to actively make sure, like, every hour on the hour that that's not something I've fallen into. So I lose probably, like, a couple of days a year in total just not dating Dr. Lee and making sure that remains the same.
Do you want to share a little bit about your adventure last week, or you want to skip over that part?
My computer broke. This is the first thing I'm doing on the computer all week, because it broke. I'm still not entirely sure what happened, but it seems to be working now, and I've just got to kind of keep pushing forward until I forget that there were problems with it, because lots and lots of stress. I was so concerned about it, but I actually decided, okay, I'm going to get someone and phone up and pay for someone to come and fix it. And after 2 days of getting in contact with people and none of them replying, I ended up fixing it myself. So I saved myself some money. That's
Good.
something. But yeah, I phoned up multiple repair people and stuff and emailed multiple repair things, and just no one got back to me. So apparently there's just not repair services that I can get in contact with around here. Which it makes it extra good that I was able to fix things. It seems to be working fine and just as usual now, so fingers crossed the computer is okay. That does mean, however, all the games I've been playing have been on the Xbox, because I've not been on the PC. I mentioned last time Inscription, which I started playing, a little deck-building roguelite sort of game. I have now finished it. I've beat the game. It's weird.
Yeah.
Real weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it's super weird, because it's basically split into 3 parts. And once you finish the first part, you have to exit the game and click on New Game. Now, to start the game originally, you can't click New Game. New Game is grayed out. You have to click Continue. So to start the game, you have to click Continue, but to continue the game, you have to click New Game. And there's a few points where the game does something like that, where it's not something you're realistically going to figure out half the time, or it doesn't feel intuitive, and you just kind of have to just do it and hope things work out for the best, which was a bit annoying at points for me, honestly. But overall, the game's fairly good. It's interesting. I didn't love the story. I think I actually enjoyed the story more for Act 1 and Act 2, and then in Act 3, when everything was kind of revealed, so to speak, I was meh. But the gameplay was fun. I very quickly worked out how to essentially break the game and just make it incredibly easy, which meant I just basically, there's one card you get where every time it dies, it comes back into your hand and is a little bit stronger. So if you constantly just keep killing that card, mostly by sacrificing it to bring out other cards, then you go from a 2-cost card which has 2 attack and 2 defense, to a card which is 2 cost and has 50 attack and 50 defense, and you only need to deal 5 points of damage to win a match. So if you just are able to play that card and attack your opponent once, you have won.
Nice.
And yeah, it made things very easy for the entire second half, and I just sped through it all. But yeah, I'm glad to have played that. I've also, another game I mentioned last time was Borderlands 3, where I've been playing more of that, and that's just been very fun, brain switch off, shooty goodness.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed that. It's been solid. I must admit, the story, I think the story, a lot of Borderlands 3 is better than the internet gives it credit for. I think, I talk about this every time, but I think a lot of people were well, it's not Borderlands 2. And that is a hang-up a lot of people get with it. But the story has quite a lot of impactful moments, and I've been skipping through them mostly because I know it, but it keeps getting to me as oh man, there's actually a lot of stuff that happens in this game, and characters show real emotion and stuff, and there's been a lot of that. And I've been ignoring it all to shoot people in the head more. And finally, the proper emotional video game I've been playing is Octopath Traveler. Because we had some announcement recently of Octopath Traveler 0, I want to say, which I've not actually looked into at all.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I haven't either, which is great.
I've got Octopath Traveler 1, and I had about 60 hours in the game, and then put it down for months and months and months. Like, I think it left Game Pass and now is back on Game Pass again, or something like that. And I just started playing it, and completed Cyrus's story, which was pretty good. He's like a teacher, and the whole like moral of his story is like there's not good or evil knowledge, it's all how you use it. And he has like I think an ex-student or something, but he has to confront and basically tell her off right before the giant boss battle against her, because she's like, I threw away my past teacher because they were a fool. They never could have understood this. And he's like, you should have taught them. It's very bad teacherness. And it's just a teacher lecturing their student on not being a teacher, which is quite funny in concept, but it's really kind of well written and delivered, and the music in that game is sublime. So it actually hits like real emotional beats. And the boss battle was a lot of fun as well. I died like once or twice with that, and I had to like kind of rebuild my characters specifically for the fight, which I enjoyed. I do want to play some more of that game, which I might do today, because I'm very much on the get my stress levels down at the moment, because a broken computer is very stressful when your job requires you to use your computer.
Yes.
It's already stressful enough just when like some piece of technology that you just like breaks, but when it's like, oh, I suddenly have no job this week, that's an issue. But hey, it's working now. I literally, before and also after we started the call, I fixed the fans and made them quieter. So I think everything's working fine and as it did before now. But it's one of those things where I know I'm going to be stressed about it and just real tense for like quite a while until I just grow used to it and forget about it all.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully next episode I'll have chilled out and we'll all be good.
I hope things are just easier from here on out, Sarge.
Oh boy, I hope so. What have you been up to, Caedo?
Well, I did get to try out the 1.5 update for Avowed, because we talked about it either last week or the episode before.
We talked about it last episode, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the skill tree changes.
Yeah, there were skill changes for both the fighter and ranger trees to make them more on par with the mage stuff, because mage just had so many options. Obviously, because you're a caster, you have a lot of spells and stuff like that. A lot of fun, actually.
Nice.
One of the early ones, like Charge is one of the early abilities that is like default. But now you can also get Kick, which is like, if you want to just Leonidas everybody, that's literally what Kick does. You could just kick everyone, it ragdolls them, it's fun. That is on the first tier of skills for fighter now. For ranger, you get a knife throw.
Oh, like I love throwing knives in video games.
You throw out 3 knives, and they're poisoned. And it does poison damage. And
nice.
There's some degree of like auto targeting that goes along with them too. So like if you have multiple targets in front of you, like 2 of the knives will actually go in the directions of those targets, which is pretty cool. And I think the highest level of that will actually stun enemies or like stagger them, which is very helpful for rogue types. But also I did get to try out the like roguish teleport thing, and it is really cool. You'll actually see, so like I have a lot of Avowed for B-roll on this. So when you see me teleport behind an enemy and like stab them in the back, like that is me perfect timing the rogue teleport thing.
Nice.
That previously only Marius could do, but now players can do it too, which is really cool. It has been pretty cool to jump back in. Unfortunately, patch 1.5 also introduced more performance issues. and they got progressively worse as I even got to Emerald Stair, which is the second zone of the game. Which man, please, Obsidian, just focus on performance. Because, like, I can't keep trying to go back to the game and then have it running worse when I have better hardware now. Like, it doesn't, like, that is like two negatives at once, and it's kind of annoying. I did go through some of the uniques too. People already have, like, comprehensive lists of the new uniques that were added to the game. I've tried out all the ones that are in Dawn Shore and most of the ones in Emerald Stair. There is, most of them are pretty freaking powerful, as you would expect. There's the Arquebus that you get in Dawn Shore, which is the first zone of the game, is called the Earl's Famine, which is like a bleed-based arquebus. Its first enchantment is Unclean Shot, which causes power attacks to deal low bleed accumulation to nearby enemies. That's nearby to whoever you hit, by the way.
Yep.
I made
That
sure
is
to
something
test
I
that.
always was never 100% certain of when those effects were like nearby enemies. Like, melee based, it's fine, because you're going to be close to it anyway, but as soon as you were on something ranged, it's like, should I be standing in the middle of enemies and shoot something distant, or...
Do I need this rifle on their forehead?
Yeah.
For it to work. Yeah. And then Wanton Slaughter is the other effect on it. Killing an enemy grants you, or gives you plus 15% reload speed for 5 seconds. So, pretty great thing. And also, the improved enchantment also, of course, improves that bleed accumulation thing to like high, or switches it to poison as its effect. So like that's cool. I think that's really neat. And most of these, unfortunately, are bought from vendors in the game. But a couple of them are in static locations. The Dragon's Gift, which is a spear, is actually embedded in a shark's corpse in Dawn Shore.
That's cool.
Yeah. At one of the Zarup camp that is not far from like all the shipwrecks and stuff. So, yeah, I think that's pretty gosh dang cool. And then there's let's see, there was one called the Meat Tenderizer, which is a warhammer. Batter the Flesh, power attacks give the hit enemy minus 20% damage reduction for 5 seconds. That just means, you're tenderizing them, you're making them soft and squishy with your hammer. Very on brand. It has they added the bloody enchantment that the horse cutter has to a lot of these weapons, like the arquebus, this meat tenderizer. There's also a one-handed mace that has it now. Like they're being very generous with the really cool blood effect enchantment, but for good reason. It looks freaking awesome. And specifically unique weapons are the ones that get these cool effects on them. So yeah, cool stuff. I, again, didn't get much further than Emerald Stair because performance is just rough. Can't deal with it just hitching all the time and frame rate going from 20 to 60 to 20 again. It's absurd. So I hope that gets fixed. Again, you'll see some of the gameplay. It was still fun while I did get some good performance out of the game. Just want it to be more consistent. Aside from that, I've been trying to play my way through a Phoenix Point campaign. Phoenix Point is a spiritual successor to the original XCOM, Enemy Unknown. Yes. Did I talk about this in the last episode?
I don't think you talked about it in the last episode, but you've definitely brought up Phoenix Point throughout the years, honestly.
Oh, okay.
It's long-time viewers will be familiar with Phoenix Point.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is Julian Gollop's take on the modern, XCOM formula. It's, I hadn't played it for years since I was given a code ages ago to stream it a little bit. So I fired it back up, and I've been enjoying my time with it again. Like, the character building is nice and dynamic. You have your basic classes that you start with. You have your assault, your heavy, your sniper, that kind of vibe. But then there's 3 factions you can ally with that will give you access to their tech and their classes too. So like one of them has an engineer class or a technician class, that can, gets these cool like robot arms on their back that they can, heal a lot more effectively with, or like stun enemies more effectively and stuff like that. Cool stuff. Throw out turrets and whatnot. And then you have the Anu, which is like they're going along with the alien threat as kind of like a gift instead, that they can use for their own means while still fighting the alien threat, or the Pandorans as they're called. So they have mutations. They have their specialty is mutations and stuff like that. So you can become friends with them and mutate your soldiers to have like different torso, legs, and heads, to have various different powers, like and also the Berserker class is one of their specialties, as well as the priest, I think, something like that. Both, one of them psionic based, one of them is like very melee based, obviously. So like all this like character customization stuff, like it's all very fluid and wonderful. Like once you unlock all these things, then you can make some of the wild and crazy, like, oh, I want to make a heavy sniper because heavies can use jetpacks and snipers obviously can do tons of damage. So like,
I do love sniper jetpack combos.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Or you can switch it up, and like one of the expansions that was added was you can get cyborg bits too. So you can get cyborg legs that have jump jets in them and do the same thing, but you can't travel as far as a jetpack, but you can still jump on a roof if you want to. So that kind of stuff, it gets a lot of fun. So unfortunately, there is some like wild balancy things that happen if you can't decide on which faction to join, which I was indecisive. I was like trying to play all sides. It's really something you shouldn't do in Phoenix Point, but I do it every time anyway, because you actually get penalized for not picking, because all this time the Pandorans are improving their tech and evolving to a point to be very tough to kill. So you have to kind of pick a lane and then go down it if you want to like have an easier time, I suppose, throughout the campaign. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun time. Do recommend if you like XCOM adjacent games, for sure. I think that's all I'm going to talk about. Because I geeked out a lot about that because I was playing it before we hopped into call. So yeah, I think we'll call it there. Yeah, dateable NPCs in Fallout, or even the Elder Scrolls. We could do an Elder Scrolls one of our own making if we wanted to.
It's just going to be Serrano every time.
Serrano like every time.
50 entries, every single one of them Serrano.
God, Serrano, you're in the way all the time, but why are you so attractive? Yeah. Anyway. Thank you, Sarge, for joining me. I hope your week goes better from now forward. And everyone else, thank you for watching and or listening, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks in the next PIPCAST 3000. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.